Hey, it's Carmen Andrea Harris here. So I just was reflecting on something. I had a meeting today, and the person who I was supposed to initially meet with, they were caught up and busy and they couldn't get to me. So someone else actually conducted the meeting. Through talking and communicating with the person, I realized, because I mentioned something about being widowed or helping widows, something to that nature, and the person shared with me that they actually had experienced the death of a husband a few years ago. Not the same amount of time as me, because I'm coming up on 7 years, but nonetheless. And we had a great conversation, and the person was like, I don't even know why I'm sharing all of this with you, which is a part of who God has created me to be. Like, I'll never forget one time I received a prophetic word, and it was literally saying, because you have survived the breaking, God can trust you with the broken. And even before the experience of the death of my husband, I always was the type of person where women would come to me on Facebook and they would share just deep, dark secrets, intimate things with me. And it's like they knew that they could trust me to not make a subliminal post or to, include them in marketing content, whether directly or indirectly. They knew that there was something in me, the Spirit of God, that was trustworthy and that would cover them and protect them, regardless of the fact of me not knowing them for a long time or what have you. And just reflecting back on that, and the person who was conducting the meeting, she also went on to share with me, because I was telling her how I one of the ways that I encourage or pour back into other people is through my videos on my various YouTube channels. And she was just encouraging me to continue doing the work, and she was just commenting and telling me how or we connected on the fact that her sharing that being in a space of trying to grieve and heal from the death of a spouse, like, that's a very dark place. That's the words that she used, her exact words were, that's a very dark hole to pull yourself out of. And it is. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping women and being a voice for women who have endured the death of a spouse and are trying to figure out, like, how do I come out of this space? Because it's not just about healing, living again, acting as if it didn't happen. Like, first and foremost, you have to process and work through it and go through those dark moments and go through those seasons of feeling like you're in a dark hole and how am I going to pull myself out. And I was even sharing with her that as you move forward on the journey of living life after loss, the loss of a spouse and just various losses, like, you can re-grieve different things. For example, I, for the past few months, have been in a season of grieving the identity of the woman that I was right after my husband died, because I feel like by the grace of God and because of the calling that he placed on me, I came out of the gate swinging. Like, I literally had people saying, you being too strong. And it literally was like the grace of God and the Spirit of God carrying me and working through me to do what he wanted me to do. But the past few months, I came to the realization of, like, okay, this feeling that I'm feeling, I know this feeling, like, I'm grieving again, but I'm not grieving the death of my late husband. I have grieved him. What I'm grieving now is realizing that I'm no longer the woman who came out the gate swinging after her husband died and, was standing on the mountain feeling like she had to not necessarily save the widows, but be the voice for the widows. Like, I'm grieving that old identity and realizing that, okay, Carmen, it's time to step into something new. I think it was maybe like 6 months ago, God, he was like, stop resting on your past laurels and move forward into the future. And most times with me, God doesn't give me the full plan. So I'm like, what does it look like to move forward into the future? Like, am I not working with women who have lost a spouse anymore? Some women, they don't mind the term widow. Some are like, don't call me that. I've had both. Like, the woman today, she was like, don't call me a widow. Like, I don't, because people can attach so much pity and shame to it. And it's like, we're not pitiful. If you can pick yourself up out of that deep, dark hole and have the audacity to move forward and to live again, in my opinion, you're a warrior. But I'm in a personal season of rediscovering who I am in this season and what I want to do, which is a part of like why I was even having this meeting with the person. But I just want to encourage you, if you have experienced any type of death, any type of loss, any type of major life transition, give yourself the permission to grieve. Give yourself the grace to process it and figure it out, because people will try to rush you through your process. It's very uncomfortable for people to be around someone who is processing the death of a literal person, or a very deep loss that just throws off the entire balance and the entire flow of your life. So if you're watching this video and you've experienced any type of death, loss, major life transition, give yourself permission to grieve. Give yourself the grace to say, hey, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just taking it one breath, one moment at a time. But also give yourself permission to have the audacity to step into a new identity, to redefine what life looks like for you after said process. And don't feel like you have to be married to a particular people group. Don't feel like you have to be married to a particular even word that somebody gave you that you may be questioning, because it's like, that don't even really feel or sound right, and it just doesn't flow with what I know God has already told me. So allow this to be a video of encouragement. Allow this to be a video of inspiration. Allow this to be a video of permission to feel how you feel, and to stay in whatever step that you're in on your personal journey of grief, healing, and life after loss. Again, this is Carmen Andrea Harris. I will see you on the next video.